Spartans! What is your profession?
I'm not that far removed from the storm. The heat still lingers, my heart still warm. I try to change, but the core remains. I'm not that far removed from the flame.
I'm not that far removed from the storm. The heat still lingers, my heart still warm. I try to change, but the core remains. I'm not that far removed from the flame.
They pushed and pulled like I'm a game to play. Thought I'd crumble, thought I'd stray. I walked away from shadows I knew, but I'm not that far removed from the view.
They threw their stones, I caught them all. Built a wall so I wouldn't fall. Changed my name, changed my tune, but I'm not that far removed from the moon.
I'm not that far removed from the fire that burns, the soul I prove. You can test me, you can try, but I'm still the storm, the unbroken sky. I bury my past, but it won't stay gone. A ghost in the mirror, it lingers on. Try to rewrite, try to improve, but I'm not that far removed from the groove.
I buried the fire, but it still flickers low. They thought I'd crumble, but they don't even know. The echoes of me that I left in the past still rise like a shadow I can't outlast.
They see my face, but they don't see the scars. Every line's a map, a story that's ours. I wear my armor, my heart subdued, but I'm not that far removed from the crude.
They built their walls, but I've got my tools. Try to make me dance to their shallow rules. I walked away, but the fight's in my veins. Not that far gone from my old hurricane.
They wanted a puppet, but I cut the strings. Tried to clip my wings, but I still sing. I shed my skin, but the scars still show. Not that far gone from the me they used to know. I'm not that far removed from the fire that burns, the soul I prove. You can test me, you can try, but I'm still the storm, the unbroken sky.
Oh, they act like I've forgotten the fight, but I'm a phoenix not lost in the night. I've grown taller, but the roots run deep. I'll wake the thunder if they wake the beast.
Oh, they act like I've forgotten the fight, but I'm a phoenix not lost in the night. I've grown taller, but the roots run deep. I'll wake the thunder if they wake the beast.
Oh, they act like I've forgotten the fight, but I'm a phoenix not lost in the night. I've grown taller, but the roots run deep. I'll wake the thunder if they wake the beast.
Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. How is everyone doing? Give me a second. I tell you, I swear this thing is going to drive me crazy. Give me 1 second. All right, we're good. Had to get the sound back working right. It's a mess. It's like, I'm just going to create a checklist to make sure everything is caught up on. But, welcome to the show. So happy to have you here. Thank you so much for tuning in. Normally, I would get started with the agenda. However, there's 10 minutes before 8 p.m. Eastern time. That means the re-up man is coming, and I have not finished using all of my tokens for today. So we're gonna start the show off like this. We're going to use the 10 minutes to make sure that we are free of tokens by 8 p.m. So when the re-up man comes, he can fully bless us with 5 new tokens and not only 3 or 4, because I have some tokens left to use. All right, so that's what we're gonna do really quick. I'm gonna throw this up here. Token Fiend, the re-up man is coming. So let's go ahead and switch over to this screen before the re-up man gets here. And let me see, how many tokens do I have left for today? I have 2 tokens left to use. So I've been having 2 issues, 2 annoying as hell issues with this, right? So here, like it's been going back and forth, right? So here, when I try to type in here, it automatically takes me out of focus. But if I tell it that it's happening, then what's going to happen is when I type in here, it automatically goes back to the first page. It's annoying as hell, right? So I am not going to waste a token on this right now. There is this activities section in here that I want to see what happens. Let's build out the join activity. So what I like to do is I like to get the functionality working, and then I can build off of that. I can think about that while I'm waiting for my new tokens to show up. So let's see. Let's ask our junior software engineer, which is really smart, but makes a lot of mistakes, if it can implement the join activity. Because I can create an activity. So let's say we have another activity, let's say pool, right? And we're going swimming, and that's going to be tomorrow at 10 a.m. in the hot South Florida weather. And we can say at Sally's, I don't know who Sally is, Sally's pool, 10 participants max. All right, so it gets added, right? It gets added. But when I click join, nothing happens because it's like a placeholder. So we are going to, oh my God, Junior, don't say so. You're going to lose your tokens, Junior. Come on. You can't be fumbling the tokens, Junior. You cannot be fumbling the tokens, Junior. Come on, son. All right, let's go. So I want to implement the join activity functionality. When someone joins an activity, it should mark how many have joined, and you should be able to click into the activity to see who will be participating. All right, let's try that. I'm just throwing anything at the wall right now, just so that I can, just so that we can get some type of functionality happening. I was fighting with, today has been a rough day fighting with this to get it to work right. On another app, I messed it up before coming on here. That's why I had to push the show back, because I was like, all right, I got to get some of this stuff working. And then the credits ran out. I'm like, all right, you know what? Since it's close to the re-up man coming, let me just wait till after the show to fix the other stuff that I broke. Something that you would think would be so simple. And that's the thing. This tool can make the most amazing coding stuff, but then something so basic like, hey, why does this, when I type here, it doesn't work? And they cannot figure that out for the life of me.
Bruh.
I'm telling you, all right? So let's see what's happening. I'll implement the join activity functionality by adding ability to join activities, track participants, and view who's participating. I don't know what else would happen. All right, so I've implemented the join activity functionality with the following features: join, leave activity. Members can join or leave activities with dedicated buttons. Participant count updates automatically when users join/leave. Participant limit. View participants modal. Real-time update, the participant count and status immediately join. All right. The system uses the existing group activity participants table. All right, cool. So we have one credit left for the day. We have 5 minutes left until the re-up man comes. So we're gonna have to use it. But let's go ahead and try, because you have to try the functionality before you do anything, all right? So join activity. You have, okay, here we go. View participants and group member. So it's still saying group member as the name instead of so over here under members, it'll say the name, it'll either say the name, the nickname, or the username of the member. So it should take place over here as well. So what I'm going to do, we do have a thing for shared lesson plans too. I was able to get that working. So this one has no participants yet. This one has the one. I'm gonna have to create some additional users, but before the re-up man comes, let's do something basic. Let me see if I do leave activity. Look at that. That works perfectly. So I'm gonna say, oh, you see that though? Although I click leave activity, it didn't update it to you see, this is why testing is going to be super important, because they will make mistakes. All right. So when I do join activity, oh, you see that? It should automatically update to leave activity. All right. So let's do this. Let's do this one, right? When I join or leave an activity, it should automatically change to the opposite. I have to refresh the page to see it now. We got 3 minutes. Let me make sure I haven't been. All right, at 3 minutes. All right, let's do this very basic functionality, and then we'll leave it at that. And then we can get the show started. But I'm telling you, like, you cannot be fumbling like Junior, missing out on 4 credits and on 3 credits. No, Junior. You can't be doing that, Junior. Those credits ain't cheap. Though, you see, Junior, if you had the paid version and you ran up your tokens like me and Wave Nerd did, you would appreciate every last token that you have. All right, I'm just saying. All right, I'm just being honest, Junior. All right, so it says that I can see the issue. The queries need to be invalidated when a user joins or leaves an activity. I don't have any credits, right? So we're done on credits. Perfect. So let's see if this works. And then to join, it will not update immediately without requiring a refresh by properly invalidating relevant queries when activities are joined or left. Leave, join. Oh, look at that. Boom, bada bing, bada boom. We are in it to win it. Look at that. We good. And with that being said, we made the most of our credits. I'm telling you, I will not fumble on my credits, because those credits ain't cheap, especially when you go down the doom loop of trying to get it to work. We good here. All right, now that we have properly made use of our credits, and my tokens should be, you know what? We're gonna, when we come back, we will make sure that the re-up man showed up. But let's go and start the show now officially, because we made use of our credits. So with that being said, with that being said, welcome to the show. So happy to have every last one of you here today. We are going to be exploring Nessus today. Nessus is an assessment tool. It's like scanning and stuff like that. I don't know. I'm not too familiar with it yet. We're going to be exploring it. It's supposed to help with vulnerability analysis. We spoke about vulnerability analysis like two or 3 shows ago. We're going to be doing a little bit deeper dive in it before we get into our next part of the course, which is going to be exploitations and stuff. And then we do have a Python program challenge coming up soon afterwards for Backdoor. So we're going to have a lot of fun. We are going to get into all that work. So what we have done in the past, so far, we've done reconnaissance, we've done scanning, we've built our port scanner, we started looking into vulnerability analysis. We're going to continue with that. All right. And then today we're also going to be, we already took care of that. We made sure we use all of our tokens. We're going to be, during our first break, we're going to be exploring what is our common sense IQ. Yes, we're going to be doing that. And we're also going to be installing Nessus today on our Kali Linux, and we're going to be learning about it, all of that good stuff. But first, let's jump into our agenda. I want to say a big thank you to every single last one of my subscribers, the ones who are brand new and the ones who have been with me for a very, very long time, those who watch from the clouds, and those who are active in the chat and in the comments, those who love to lurk. I see you out there lurking. You know what I'm talking to. I see you lurking. Shout out to my lurkers. and those who hang out with us and have a great time. I appreciate every last one of you.
I appreciate you.
And shout out to my Patreon members. Junior's a Patreon member. How much value do you get from the Patreon when you're able to join inside of our pop-up meetups? And we're able, like, Junior got started with lovable coding stuff. Now he's asking me about API keys. He's able to message in the chat and I'm able to respond to him, helping him get pushed forward. Talking about like stuff that Junior would have never tried before. He's talking about Superbase. I saw your message. I didn't get a chance to respond, but I do see it in the chat talking about working with Superbase to start getting stuff working. I'm gonna help you with that. I got you, but shout out to how much value are you getting out of there? We do Magnetar sharing about usajobs.gov, Rod Brown talking about his journey in tech. The meetups that we do, I gotta set up a framework around that so we can be more consistent with that. But we do some great, amazing things. So shout out to my tech barbarians, my tech project members, my technical explorers, even those who sign up for free and they're getting value out of all of that. We are the best.
We the best.
And of course, shout out to my tech mercenaries. Those are the YouTube channel members who allows me to come up on and share with everyone, to add value, all of that good stuff. Let's get it, y'all.
Let's get it.
All right. Upcoming shows. So tomorrow we're going to have the bug bite. We're going to be talking about Victoria's Secret getting hacked. Yep, they were certainly in a bind. We're going to be talking about that at noon Eastern time. Victoria's Secret getting hacked. They were down bad. So we're going to be reviewing that. I think they're back up and running now. That's going to be tomorrow at noon. Sunday, we're going to be going live with our DevOps show. And who knows what we're going to do on there, but we're still working on Kubernetes. We're probably going to, maybe I'll get me some Devin credits and we'll figure out this issue that we've been having with Kubernetes and the Google secrets. I know last time it identified some issues and we were this close of fixing it, but we had to go. So maybe we'll do that on Sunday. All that good stuff, right? All right, really quick announcement. I have it pinned to the top of the chat, but I will drop it in the chat again. Right now, the merch is 25% off just for today on all products. So I'm going to drop the link, 25% off on all products. So check it out. And, if you like anything, go ahead and buy it. But 25% is a steal. I must say that's a steal. Really cool stuff. Some new merch. You know what? I will. Let me show you the new merch real quick. Let me show you the new merch. I think it looks really cool. So, I have some on the way for myself, if I must say so myself. But we got the Token Fiend. Yes, the Token Fiend. Because my name is Tech Coach Ralph, and I have a problem. I'm a token fiend. I wait till 8 p.m. for the re-up man, for the lovable re-up man to come around and drop me my 5 tokens so I can get to work. I'm a token fiend. We have this design right here, all these styles, token fiend, cups and stuff. And I think probably on Sunday, I am working on a really cool giveaway, really cool challenge where you have to collect the tokens that I will be distributing throughout the show. So I'm letting you guys know what's coming on Sunday, right? You have to collect the tokens that I'll be distributing throughout the show, and that's going to be the password for the QR code, which will unveil the code, the code word to put in the chat, and you will be the winner, and you can choose, and I'll send you out some merch, right? How you like them apples? Well, we got the Token Fiend boys shirt. We got the we got the Token Fiend girls shirt, right? Look at that. Look at that. Looking very nice. And then we just got the Token Fiend shirt or apparel. I got a hat on the way. Look at those hats. Look at those hats. Shout out to my guy Wave Nerd, who who inspired me to be a Token Fiend. So shout out to him. But yeah, so that is the merch, 25% off in case anybody today only, 25% off. In case anybody's interested, brand new merch has hit the store. The Token Fiend series. We have the ones for the guys, we got the ones for the gals, and we have the ones for all of my Token Fiends. Let's get it.
Let's get it.
All right. So just wanted to share that with you really, really quick. We have already used up our tokens, so we're good on that front. Let me see. So with that being said, I'm going to check the chat. And then we will get to work. We'll be starting off with what exactly is vulnerability analysis. We're going to do a recap of that. And then we will be getting into what is Nessus and how to install it on Kali Linux. All right. Bada bing, bada boom. Let me check the chat to say hello to all of my friends, to all of my people. All right. So we have starting off, we have Junior in the building. You just can't win. You just can't win every. I almost cursed. I'm sorry. All right, there we go. We have Junior in the building. Says, "What's up? What's up? What's up, family? What's good with you, Junior? So happy to see you here." And although I was trying to shame you for not using up all your tokens, I must say I am really, really, really proud of you to see all that you've done in the past few days, how you are making the most of what you've been learning, right? And just seeing like the first day, Junior told me about Runware, which is for image generation. And then now he's talking about Superbase. So he is on the brink of bringing functionality together. So shout out to my guy, Junior. We got my guy Magnetar in the building. Hits me with the Sith Coach Ralph.
You don't know the power of the dark side.
Let me see. Junior says, I have 4 tokens left. 4 tokens left. Oh my goodness. Gonna lose them. Oh my God. I wish I could be a token absorber for all the people who didn't use their tokens that just come to me. I want to be the token collector, the token Grim Reaper, right? Junior says, I lost 3 tokens yesterday.
Bruh.
And it says, well, I just created another website and now I have lost only 3 credits. Okay, now we're getting there. It says, I post the credits because I'm having an issue with connecting Superbase. I am going to hit you up, if not tonight, then tomorrow-ish. And or you know what, depending on how my Saturday is, maybe I'll spin up a Google Meet and we can figure that out. And whoever wants to join us, watch us figure it out, maybe we can do that. But I'll figure it out, but I will definitely hit you up and help you out with that, all right? And Junior says, I have so many ideas now of that because of that video. I'm in the Patreon. It's a crazy amount of value, crazy amount. They just don't know, Junior. They just don't know. You know what? Oh my God. There's so many tools out there nowadays. Like, it's crazy. I was on a meeting with a friend of mine, a friend that I've known since middle school, and like we hadn't seen each other for a long time, and then we just happened to run into each other at a basketball court a few years ago, and now we play basketball together almost every Sunday. But then I found out that he was building applications and selling stuff, and I was showing him some stuff today. There's this tool. I said, all right, give me you guys saw when I said the business plan, right? It said, okay, this is what I want you to do. So I asked it for some other stuff. It told me, you know what? You need to go and raise the price for the Patreon, add another tier, add 2 more tiers. So raise the price for the Premier coaching, add back the old coaching tier, but refine it. And then it said then add a really expensive tier for corporate sponsorship and stuff like that, for like not corporate sponsorship, but like to work with corporations and it gave me a whole outline of things to do. I was like, what in the world is this? It's real out here. It is real out here. All right. So a lot of crazy stuff happening. So things are going to change. I have hired a lot of people. Well, by people, I mean a lot of AI, a lot of agentic AI to help me out and to make us move at the speed of light, be more profitable, be more marketable, and just continue to win. All right. All right. With that being said, let's just jump into our first segment of the show, first segment of work. Let me pull up let's use Gemini today. I'm going to use Gemini. I'm going to use the free model, and let's start up our first session of work.
It's time to do.
And we're going to go over to Gemini, and let me zoom in on Gemini a little bit. And I'm going to say, all right, what is vulnerability analysis? And to be honest with you, vulnerability analysis is pretty much in every industry. It's not only to cybersecurity, because when you think about these, whatever type of attack that happens, where like you have people who will do a vulnerability analysis, and that's okay. These are your weak points. These are your choke points and stuff like that. You should block this. You should cover this, cover that, and then they don't do it, and now an attack happens. That's a vulnerability analysis, right? Now the same thing can be done for cyber stuff, which totally makes sense. But vulnerability analysis has been around for a very, very long time. All right, but let's just do what is vulnerability analysis in cybersecurity. All right, so vulnerability analysis, often used interchangeably with vulnerability assessment, is a critical process in cybersecurity that involves identifying, quantifying, and prioritizing security weaknesses, vulnerabilities in computer systems, network applications, and other IT assets. The goal is to proactively discover these weaknesses before malicious actors can exploit them, ultimately reducing an organization's risk of cyber attacks and data breaches. Here's a breakdown of what vulnerability analysis entails. Key steps in vulnerability analysis: asset identification. I'm not going to read through this whole thing, but asset identification and inventory, vulnerability scanning and identification, automated vulnerability scanners, manual reviews, penetration testing. What? Somebody told me the other day that that vulnerability analysis is not part of ethical hacking and penetration testing. So let's just read that one. While often distinct, penetration testing complements vulnerability analysis by actively attempting to exploit identified vulnerabilities to determine their real-world impact. So it's distinct, but it complements. Okay, that kind of makes sense. Maybe we were both right at the end of the day. Threat intelligence: utilizing information about current threats and attack patterns helps anticipate potential vulnerabilities. Vulnerability analysis and prioritization: once vulnerabilities are identified, they are analyzed to understand their root cause, potential impact, and likelihood of exploitation. This involves categorization, severity assignment, business context, remediation, and mitigation planning. So it breaks down what remediation is, what mitigation is, what acceptance is, verification and continuous monitoring, types of vulnerability assessments, network-based, host-based, application, database, wireless network, cloud assessments, social engineering. What was that? Okay, it tells you where it gets it from. That's pretty cool. Why is vulnerability analysis important? Proactive risk management, reduced attack surface, compliance, improved security posture, cost savings. In essence, vulnerability analysis is a fundamental practice in cybersecurity that enables organizations to stay ahead of threats by continuously identifying and addressing their security weaknesses. All right, cool. So that is in quick recap. What is vulnerability analysis? So I also want to see. Let's ask specifically: is vulnerability analysis a part of penetration testing? Let's see what it says with that. Yes, vulnerability analysis, often referred, is a crucial part of and a prerequisite for effective penetration testing. While they are distinct concepts with different depths and goals, they are highly complementary and often used together in a comprehensive security strategy. So here's what I'm saying, right? What I'm reading is, although technically they might not be like vulnerability analysis might not technically be a strict part of penetration testing, but it's kind of like a requirement to do them together, because if you don't assess the vulnerabilities, then what the hell are you going to do penetration testing anyways, right? So that's kind of like how I see it. It's like they are highly complementary, right? So it's kind of like saying peanut is not a part of jelly, or peanut butter is not a part of jelly and bread. However, it would be a crime not to put them together, right? So something I don't know. That was bad. That was weak. However, they do have the peanut butter and jelly that is all in one bottle. It's like I forgot the name. I forgot the name. You know what? Let's see. Peanut butter and jelly in one jar. The Goober. Shout out to the Goober. And for those who don't want to pay the $4.19 or the $5.43 for the Goober, they can get the Walmart brand Creamy Stripes. Shout out to Creamy Stripes as well. That's the one that I would get. I would get the Creamy Stripes. All right.
I was gonna lie to you, but I had to tell the truth. I'm just being honest.
I would get the Creamy Stripes. I'm just saying, it's the same exact thing, but half the cost. Like, come on. All right. Anyways, whatever. Don't judge me. All right. Don't judge me. You if you came over and I gave you some Creamy Stripes, you would, and you didn't see the jar, you would think that it was the Goober. All right. So look, all right. I'm just saying, come on, man. All right. Anyways, shut up. All right. Anyways, all right, let's go. All right. So here's how they relate: vulnerability analysis, vulnerability assessment, and scanning. Let's see. Purpose to identify and catalog potential security weakness. Vulnerabilities in systems. Methodology primarily uses automated tools, vulnerability scanners that scans for known vulnerabilities against a database of signatures, misconceptions, outdated software, and other common weaknesses. Outcome of reported list. All right, cool. All right, penetration testing. Simulate a real-world cyber attack to discover exploitable vulnerabilities, assess their actual impact, and determine if unauthorized access or other malicious activities is possible. So, let's put it like this, though. Then. Penetration testing is a component of ethical hacking. Vulnerability analysis or assessment is a component of ethical hacking. So in order to learn how to do penetration testing, we would have to learn the full breadth of ethical hacking, which means we have to learn about reconnaissance. We need to learn about scanning. We need to learn about the analysis. We need to learn about the exploiting, right? The penetration testing comes more at the exploiting level, but all of it's all encompassing. It's all encompassing. Let me see. All right, so penetration testing, simulate real-world cyber attack. Methodology involves skilled security professionals, ethical hackers who use a combination of automated tools and manual techniques to actively exploit identifiable vulnerabilities. That reminds me, I started watching a movie last night. I fell asleep with Sylvester Stallone, Arnold Schwarzenegger, 50 Cent. Forgot the name of the movie, but they were pretty much showing jails their vulnerabilities, prisons their vulnerabilities, and how Sylvester Stallone could escape. I have to go back and watch the rest of it tonight. But that's also a vulnerability analysis, all right, assessment. Scope often more focused and targeted at specific critical systems or applications. Depth much deeper as it goes beyond identification to actively exploit weaknesses and chain them together for greater impact. How vulnerability analysis fits into penetration testing often serves as the initial phase or an ongoing component of penetration testing, right? So they complement each other. It works as a part of it, or it is the prerequisite, as I said earlier. Information gathering and reconnaissance. We already read through that. We already worked through that. focusing efforts validation beyond known vulnerabilities. In summary, vulnerability analysis identifies the doors and windows that might be unlocked or weak. Penetration testing tries to open those doors and windows and then explores what's inside and what else can be accessed. They work best together, providing both a broad overview of potential weaknesses, vulnerability analysis, and a deep real-world assessment of exploitable risk. Penetration testing. Many security services are offered as vulnerability assessment and penetration testing VAPT to reflect this combined approach. All right, so now we're going to be jumping into what is Nessus. What is the Nessus tool for ethical hacking? It says, Nessus is a powerful and widely used vulnerability scanner that plays a significant role in ethical hacking. While it's not a complete hacking tool in the sense of actively exploiting vulnerabilities, that'll be the penetration testing part. That's more the realm of penetration testing frameworks like Metasploit. It's an indispensable component of an ethical hacker's toolkit for reconnaissance and vulnerability identification phases. Here's how Nessus is used in ethical hacking. Vulnerability identification, the core function. Nessus scans target systems, servers, workstations, network devices, web applications, databases, cloud resources to identify known security vulnerabilities. So one thing that I'm going to have to figure out how to do is how can we test Superbase, Lovable, our applications for potential, because I would assume that there might be potential vulnerabilities with Superbase. So we have to make sure, we need to do some type of scanning on that to make sure that our applications are secure, that nefarious actors cannot get in there, you know? So that's something that we'll be looking into as well. That's going to be a great project to work on. Let me see, where is this thing? All right, cool. All right, so it says, it can detect a wide range of issues. It says, it does this by comparing system configurations, software versions, open ports, and services against an extensive and constantly updated database of known vulnerabilities. CVEs, we worked with CVEs the other day. Common vulnerabilities and exposures. So when we built our RAG, we were feeding it some CVEs. Also, on yesterday morning show, where we're looking at Hugging Face, we were looking at common let's see, common. Can I just search CVEs? CVE single line fixes CVE. So look at this CVE data set, right? So this CVE data set is something that we could feed into our RAG, right? Retrieval augmented generation. So we can feed this. Let's say we built it in a way that it'll always go out there, pull up the latest version to continue updating our RAG. We also get it from another source, other sources and stuff like that. To keep our RAG updated. That way we can say, all right, when you scan, use this RAG to to see if you find anything in there and give us an assessment, write us a report, put it in this format. Shout out to, I'll tell you about this later, but shout out to my guy, Paul. What is it? Paul Does AI. We'll check that out too, right? But anyways, so that is what that does. Let's go back to Gemini. And it's cool. It's cool that I'm using Gemini today because yesterday's video for how to get started with like writing better prompts than you're doing now, I use ChatGPT. Today I'm using Gemini, right? So you're getting the best of both worlds on how maybe next time we'll use Claude, but how to start getting more familiar with these things. I used to not like searching stuff with ChatGPT, but when I'm doing this type of research, I don't mind using one of these AI models. Now, when I'm trying to troubleshoot something, then I might go to Google. Now I might go to Devin. I don't know. But with all these tools, the sky's the limit, all right? It can detect a wide range of issues, all these type of issues, assess discovery and network mapping, Before even looking for vulnerabilities, Nessus can discover active hosts on a network and map its topology. This can help ethical hackers understand the scope of the target, configuration auditing, prioritization of risks, detailed reporting, pre-built policies and templates, how it fits into the ethical hacking process. So in the context of ethical hacking, reconnaissance phase, to gather information about the target system, identifying live hosts, open ports, and discover potential attack vectors. Vulnerability analysis phase, to systematically scan for and identify known vulnerabilities that could be exploited. What Nessus is not, I repeat, what Nessus is not. In the context of pure hacking, it is not an exploitation tool. Nessus is a scanner, not an exploitation framework. That it tells you what vulnerabilities exist, but it doesn't actively exploit them to gain unauthorized access or demonstrate impact. For that, ethical hackers would typically use tools like Metasploit, PowerShell Empire, or custom scripts. And what else? Real-time monitoring. Nessus performs point-in-time scans. It's not designed for continuous real-time threat detection or intrusion prevention. So in essence, Nessus provides the ethical hacker with a highly efficient and accurate map of an organization's known security weaknesses. This map then guides the subsequent more targeted and manual exploitation efforts during a penetration test. It significantly reduces the time and effort of an ethical hacker needs to spend manually searching for vulnerabilities, allowing them to focus on the more complex task of proving exploitable. Oh my God, come on, man! All right, I'm going to have to prompt this to not use words that have more than 2 syllables that are hard to pronounce. I'll say more than 3 syllables because this exploitability. More complex tasks of proving exploitability and assessing business risk. Okay, I got that. Just have to slow it down, break it up word by word. I see some people, man. I tell you, some people they be trying to send some super chats with these 5-syllable words, and then they just want us more difficult students to just throw these words. That's why I say, tell it to me like I am a 6th grader, like I'm a 7th grader, right? No, let's not go any higher than 7th grade, okay? But we got it though. We got it. Exploitability. All right, there we go. Anyways, so now let's see. All right, let me go to Nessus. We got that. So let's see where. So Tenable makes Nessus, I guess. All right, Nessus is built from the ground up. We can get started. Try. Is that the one that I want? Is this it? I guess it's this. I guess it's from Tenable. Okay. Let's go get Nessus. Maybe the Essentials one, the free one. We'll have to put in our first name, last. So register for an activation code. So do try. Under try, Tenable Nessus. Requested. Where's my free download? Install Nessus on Kali Linux. How to get started on Kali Linux. So I'm gonna need my activate. All right, so I do need. All right, so download. So we'll follow these. We'll follow these steps and see if we can get it on there. Before we go to break, let me go ahead and start up our Kali Linux. It's gonna be VMware Fusion. We're gonna switch to the other screen. And we are going to run this. All right, so let's log in. And I'm going to move this tab over here. And let's do it like that. And we will do it like that. All right, so we need to do, so we're going to do apt update, app upgrade. Let's do pseudo. Pseudo means for super user.
Lunch break, lunch break.
Maybe the other one needs pseudo as well. All right, there we go. So yeah, both need pseudo. And while it's getting upgraded, let's go to break. Let's go to break. So I'm gonna check the chat, and then we are going to find out. We're gonna find out. So one of the look. All right. Let me be honest. Let me be honest with you guys. Right. Let me be honest. We are getting some sponsors up and coming. One of the sponsors, Common Sense IQ. Another one is going to be the paperwork is like we're working on the paperwork, right? We are working on the paperwork, but Common Sense IQ is going to be one. The QR tool that we're going to be using for our contest is going to be another one. The video, the content creation workflow thing is going to be another one, and the resume analyzer save my career tool is going to be another one, right? So we have a lot of things in the work. We have a lot of trade deals in the pipeline. We're just in negotiation right now, right? But that doesn't stop me from showing you the cool stuff that's there, right? So we're gonna be looking at Common Sense IQ after I get through the chat. So let's get to it. Let's see. Where's my mouse? All right, there goes the mouse. All right, so we have Junior said, I used to eat those goobers with nothing else. Junior, are you serious? Are you serious? You used to eat just from the jar, just like that? My goodness, Junior. Have you no shame? But I'm gonna be honest.
I was gonna lie to you, but I had to tell the truth. I'm just being honest.
I used to do the same. Look, I have no problem getting a spoon and just eating peanut butter just like that. I stopped buying peanut butter because I was like, I'll just eat all the peanut butter. I'm just saying, I have no problem just getting a spoon and just hacking away at the peanut butter. So I hear you on that. Now you mix it with the jelly. So you got the peanut butter and the jelly. Oh my goodness. Don't threaten me with a good time. Junior says, the bootleg version doesn't taste as good. You know what, Junior? You know what I say to that? This is what I say to that, right? I have never been to Jamaica. All right. I've never been to Jamaica. So when I go to these local Jamaican restaurants like Golden Crust and I get some jerk chicken over there, they will, and then my Jamaican friends will say, that food is terrible. That food is garbage. It's so much better than Jamaica. I'm like, A, there is no possible way that I can get the jerk chicken from Jamaica right now. B, I've never been to Jamaica to tell you, to be able to know if it's better or not. So the way that I see it is, I don't know if I've ever had the goober per se. Maybe I've only had the whatever stripes they were called. I don't know. But if I never had the goober, I won't even know that it doesn't taste as good because I never had it. So you see, sometimes I just go straight for the bootleg, so I don't know that I'm missing out on how much better the non-bootleg one is. You know, I have some crazy logic. I know. Just don't mind me. I have crazy logic sometimes, but that's how I see it. I bypass the great experience and I just go for the not so great experience. So I can't miss out, right? You ever seen that? You ever seen that meme where the guy is walking with his girl and then the other girl walks by and he looks back? For me, I just make it that the other girl is never able to walk by, so I don't have to look back and like, oh, look what you're missing out on. No, don't mind me. I did get someone bring me back a Jamaican beef patty from Jamaica. I'm gonna get hate for this. I didn't notice that big of a difference. Maybe it's my taste buds, because when I've eaten Haitian food from Haiti before, like in Haiti, and when I eat it here, I'm like, I don't see that big of a difference. I might see a difference between restaurants' qualities, but I don't see that big of a difference between. I will say the seafood cooked freshly on the beach is different than if you get a seafood in the store, but that's because it's freshly cooked on the beach, right? So there's a difference there. But just general day-to-day cooking, I don't know. It's a little fresher because they will kill the chicken like right there in front of you and cook it. You know, it's a little fresher. But I didn't notice that big of a difference with the Jamaican beef patty. I'm just going to be honest. And Junior for the assist says exploit a bill. Oh no, Junior, ability. Nope. You missed the dash. There has to be another dash after the L, right? It should be exploit a bill dash ity. No, there maybe exploit a bill dash I dash T. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's like 6 syllables. It's like 6 syllables. Who would do this to a person? Who would this is an atrocity. This is an atrocity, all right? 6 syllables? I'm not even gonna go there. We got my guy Wave Nerd in the building. My fellow token fiend. We attend the same token meetings. We start off, hello, my name is Wave Nerd, and I have a problem. I'm a token fiend. Hi, Wave Nerd. I say, hello, my name is Ralph. I have a problem. I'm a token fiend. Hi, Ralph. And we just start sharing our stories. And I'm like, it started on May 29th when I did a live stream with Lovable, and then I tried it out, and 200 credits later, and I'm trying to do load management on my token. I'm gonna make a video, token load management. I'm trying to load manage my token so I don't end up spending $200 and just building all the software that I ever thought about in my life. So we're gonna start Tokens Anonymous. You know what? That's another shirt. That's another shirt, Wave Nerd. Tokens Anonymous, right? TA, Tokens Anonymous. I'm gonna start that. So he's gonna say Tokens Anonymous. Hello, my name is, and I have a problem. All right. Let's see. Wave Nerd says I'm late. Was working. Burning through those tokens. All right. Wave Nerd likes that one. That's how we start our meetings. You know what? Wave Nerd, now every time we have a meeting, we're gonna start. That's how we're gonna start it off, right? Our motto for starting off our meeting, we get on the call. We're gonna say, hello, my name is Tech Coach Ralph. I have a problem. I'm a token fiend. Hi, Tech Coach Ralph. And that's the working agreement. That is the working agreement. All right. Anyways, I got issues. All right. I have so much energy today. I woke up extra late on purpose today. And I have all this energy. I went to the mall to get some basketball sneakers. The Adidas outlet store in Sawgrass Mall at Sawgrass Mills has 0 basketball sneakers, and they had a line that was like wrapped around it. I'm like, even if I wanted to buy something, it was not going to happen. Not sure why I'm sharing this story. It just popped into my mind, but yeah. Anyways, let's get to work. Let's see how much common sense we actually have. All right. Where is my common sense IQ? There we go. So I am going to switch over to Common Sense IQ. Let's go and put up this banner. Testing our Common Sense IQ. So I have been told that the Common Sense IQ, built on Lovable, is free for the summer. Free. Yes, free. Free 99. Yes, free 99. All right. So we're going to I'm going to throw up a 5-minute timer, even if it takes a little bit longer than 5 minutes. We're going to do it. All right. So let's go over to here. It's built on Lovable. I'm going to drop the link in the chat for anybody who wants to test their common sense as well. Let's see. Common sense IQ free for the summer. And I'll get some details. I'll share it another time on all the details of how it works. But 15 questions with a test with memes, instant results with detailed analysis, shareable certificate, free access enabled. What? Even you don't even have to call Nate for this one.
I'm in a bind, Nate.
Nate, we do not need you this time. Sorry, not sorry. So let's start this, and I have not done this yet. I was on a call with I was like, after a show ended, I was on like the back chat, whatever you want to call it, and I saw some people taking this IQ. They're like, I have to try it. So let's try this out, right? So common sense quiz, test your common sense with 15 real world scenarios, 8 fun meme images, 20-minute time limit based on Stanford and MIT. So we might need more than 5 minutes for this, but let's do it, right? So tap one of the 4 multiple choice answers to select your response. Use skip button if you're not sure about the answer. Watch the timer. You have 20 minutes to complete all the questions. All right, so let's get started. All right, you stayed up all night studying, but the exam gets rescheduled. What should you do? Go to sleep and adjust your schedule for the new date. Stay awake even longer to study more. Complain to everyone about wasted effort. Skip the rescheduled exam out of. So I'm definitely gonna skip the rescheduled because I'm pissed off. All right. How? You know what? You get one of these. You get one of these.
How dare you?
How dare you reschedule my exam? No, I'm gonna go to sleep. Adjust my schedule for the new date. All right. Let's go with that. Your boss sends out an email declaring, "Bring your pet to work day." What's the best strategy to ensure your goldfish gets the spotlight? All right, I don't think it's gonna make it there, but fill your desk with neon colors fish tanks and give each fish a unique name like Captain Bubbles or Captain Bubbleguts. Bring an inflatable pool and hope your goldfish learns to swim in a circle for entertainment. Dress your goldfish in a tiny suit and attach a tiny briefcase so it looks like the CEO of AquaCorp. Send a follow-up email reminding everyone that goldfish are technically not pets, just aquatic roommates. All right, Captain Killjoy. Let's not go with that one. I like this one. Dress your goldfish in a tiny suit. I don't know if that's gonna work out too well, but I would definitely try to dress them in a. But I do like Captain Bubbleguts though. I'm gonna go with Captain Bubbleguts. All right, so a politician promises to lower taxes but then raises them after the election. What is most likely happening? Campaign promises were made without realistic planning. An unexpected economic crisis required policy change. The opposition party forced their hands. They never intended to keep their promise. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I'm going to say that the opposition party forced their hands, but they never intend to keep their promises, all right? Let's go with that. Your friend asked to borrow money. Nope. For the 3rd time without repaying previous loans. What should you do? Politely decline and discuss repayment of previous loans. Lend them the money without question. Cut off the friendship immediately. They would be cut. See, I cannot answer that one because they would be cut off after the. So it's like this, right? You ask to borrow money. I give it to you. You're cut off. When you come back with my money, then you're cut back in. Now I sue you back together, but you miss out on that first one. You're cut off, all right? So we're gonna say I'm just gonna go publicly shame them for not repaying, right? That's so.
I'm just being honest.
If it takes 5 printers 5 minutes to print 5 documents, how long would it take 10 printers to print 10 documents? 5 printers to print 5 documents. How long would it take 10 printers to print 10 documents? See, now they're trying to throw me off with math. I'm gonna go with 10 minutes. You're at a dinner party and don't like the food. What's the most appropriate response? Eat a small portion and thank the host. Loudly criticize the food. Don't do that. Refuse to eat and make a scene. Secretly feed it to their pet. All right. If the pet dies from eating that terrible food, then you might catch a case, all right?
Congratulations, you played yourself.
Get a
So
move on. Back to work.
we can't do
Shout,
that.
Let's go.
We
Come
cannot
on,
do
get
that.
a move on. Back to work. Back to work. Back to work.
What we are gonna do though, I'm a very, regardless of what you see here, regardless of what my friends will tell you in the chat, right? Regardless of what my wife will say, I'm a very, very nice, honorable, respectable person. So I'm going to loudly criticize the food. Nah, I'm kidding. I'm gonna eat a small portion and say thank you so much for this amazing, amazing food. And always remember, eat at home before you go anywhere, so that don't see. When I was poor, when I was from the hood, when I had that hood mentality, I would like make sure I was hungry as hell before I go anywhere, and then you have to wait another 2 hours for the food to be sold, to be served. So now I just eat till I'm full at home, and then I just taste a little stuff at the place because they're gonna be late, and the food might not be that good, and it might also give you diabetes. I'm just saying. All right, let me zoom in a little bit. This one says, you walked into your 8 a.m. lecture and the professor casually mentioned that attendance today counts for 50% of your grade. What should you do? Silently weep in your seat while contemplating life choices. Raise your hand if you can ask if you can retroactively attend last week's class. Immediately text your mom to complain about unfair educational policies. Start a study group on how to stay awake for future early classes. I mean, I would just change the class to a later class, but I would definitely raise my hand and ask if you can retroactively attend last week's classes. Your boss announces a surprise team building retreat at a remote island. You find out it's the same weekend as your cousin's wedding. What's your move? Sorry, cousin. Because I honestly, I was already trying to find a way out of my cousin's wedding.
I was gonna lie to you, but I had to tell the truth. I'm just being honest.
I was already looking for a way out of my cousin's wedding. So now my boss saved the day. Send an email saying you're allergic to team bonding. I mean, that is kind of true too, right? Fake a medical emergency to avoid the retreat. Politely explain the conflict and ask to reschedule your role. Show up to the retreat in a wedding dress just to confuse it. All right, I'm definitely not doing that one. So I can only avoid it, right? So I'm gonna say, I'll send an email, right? If your local city council spends $1 million on a statue of a cat named Whiskers the Wise, but no funds for potholes, what might they be prioritizing? A new tourism strategy starring Whiskers, a secret feline political agenda, the art of distraction from real issues, a commitment to fury diplomacy. It's definitely a secret feline political agenda because those felines, they are evil. Gotta be careful for those felines. I've woke up to my cat watching me in my sleep, plotting against me. Okay, I have. So be careful with if they want to spend $1 million on Whiskers the Wise, but not fix the potholes. I say you go along with it because there will be a flurry of cats who are looking to unalive you. Okay. By the way, the term unalive. If people don't want to say the other word, right? Can't won't YouTube or whoever catch onto it and just say, okay, now we're just gonna start blocking unalive. Like, come on. Anyways, it's a secret agenda, right? All right, next up. Your cousin just announced they're getting married. It's the third time this year. How do you get married 3 times in a year? And you're running out of excuses to skip the wedding. What's your best move? Sign up for a competitive extreme ironing class in another country? No. Buy a party hat and show up ready to critique the cake. I've done that too many times already, right? Offer to plan the wedding to ensure an elaborate circus theme. Ask them if they need a full-time wedding planner because you clearly have nothing better to do. All right, we're gonna go with signing up for extreme. We're definitely going with that one. All right, so you're a cyberpunk detective trying to decide which neon lit cafe serves the best coffee. After sampling 3 places, you discover one cafe has suspiciously friendly AI baristas. Shout out to AI baristas, while another serves coffee that tastes like burnt rubber. Jeez. Which cafe should you recommend to your fellow detectives for an actual caffeine kick? Oh, for the caffeine kick. Okay, so here's a question. All right, the cafe with the friendly barista clearly programmed to flatter. The cafe that serves burnt rubber because it's on trend. The third cafe that actually uses real coffee beans and not leftovers. No, you gotta have the leftovers. The leftovers give a little kick to it, right? The cafe that's on fire because you can't roast beans any better. All right, so that's a tough one. You know, we are all into AI, getting our tokens back, looking for the re-up, man. I got to go with the AI barista clearly programmed to flatter. It says you're at a social gathering and someone keeps telling the same awful dad jokes. What's your best course of action? Laugh loudly every time, showing appreciation for their humor. Politely suggest they take a break and tell one of their better jokes. Hold on one second.
Yeah, I have a lot of questions. Number one, how dare you?
How dare you? Come on. Start telling jokes from your favorite comedy special, drowning them out. Offer to start a bingo game where winning number corresponds to how many times they've told the same joke. Oh, that's a bit harsh. We'll go with that one though. All right. You just found out the group project that you thought was due next week is actually due tomorrow. What's your next move? Call your group members to panic together and make bad decisions. Kind of like in old school, we're going streaking. All right. Attempt to finish it by drinking 3 energy drinks and winging it. That sounds like what I would do. Create a detailed plan, assign tasks, and orchestrate a late night Zoom meeting. Maybe. Submit your last minute TikTok dance videos as your project. Ooh, that might be a good one. Me personally, I would do B and or C. Let's go with create a detailed plan, assign task. This is a tough one. This is really a tough one. I would probably do this one while doing this one. But I would probably do this one first. I'm definitely gonna do this one first, all right? It's the truth. It's the truth, all right? Your office has a bring your own pet to work day, but the colleague brings a llama named Lenny who steals the show. What? Damn you, Lenny! How you gonna steal the show from my goldfish? My neon lit goldfish tank, right? Oh, damn Lenny. Challenge Lenny to a staring contest and hope he blinks first. Compliment Lenny's haircut and ask if he's available for a corporate photo shoot. Politely ask your colleague to take Lenny outside, as a llama might not be covered by the health insurance policy. That's true. Bring a goat named Gina and start a barnyard rivalry for. Oh, you know which one I'm. It even got me clapping my hands on this one. I am picking the goat named Gina. No ifs, ands, buts about it. All right. Last question. You find out the city council approved a green initiative, but the funds mysteriously vanished. What's your first logical step? Start a fundraiser for the trees that will never be planted. Investigate where the cash really went, possibly a tropical vacation fund. Assume it was a prank and laugh it off. Plant a tree and hope it makes everything better. Oh, that's a tough one. I don't know. I don't like this question. This one is boring. I'm gonna skip this one. Aw. All right. Let's see. My assessment. You know what? My score is 75. Average. Aw. We will read this after the next break. All right. Let's go back. Let's go back to full screen. We'll check our results after the break. But I have common average common sense. You know what? Common sense IQ.
How dare you?
I might just terminate our agreement. All right. I might treat you like the UK or the EU. We'll see. But anyways, that is the Common Sense IQ app. Shout out to Common Sense IQ. All right, let me see. Nothing new in the chat, but try it out. Let me know your score. Let me know your score that you got. Maybe that might be another challenge that I do. Common Sense IQ. Share your score, your common sense score, all that good stuff. But let's jump into another 20-minute segment of working on Nessus.
Let's go!
All right, so here we are. Let's log back in. I put the password for the, hold on. That's the password for our, that's the password for, it doesn't matter. That's the password for, that is the password for, Kali Linux. And let's go here. So what happened here? All right. Something failed to connect. What the heck is going on here? Let's see. Oops. Let's see. All right, let's try that again. I don't know what's going on over here. Unable to fetch from archives. Maybe run app with fix missing. Let's try that. What in the world? Oh, so we need 2 dashes. Let's try that. Everything is not found. That's so weird. Interesting. So let's say Kali Linux update IP not found. When running update. All right, so let's take a look at this because this is what's happening here. Indicates an issue with the repository configuration network connectivity. It means the system couldn't find updates at the specified address. To resolve this, you should verify your network connection and then check the correct. Let's try the connection. Ping google.com. So that's working. All right, whatever. So let's not worry about that, I guess. And let's see. We need to navigate to Tenable's download page, and we're going to download. Let's open it up in here. Let's open it up in here. Let's paste that. Let's get it for Linux. Is it AMD64? All right, let's try that. Agree. Downloading Nessus. Using the command line, install the Nessus package once installation is complete. If you'd like Nessus to start when it boots. All right. So it's downloaded. Now it's going to be in the downloads folder. So let me move this over here. All right. So CD downloads. And we're going to say download Nessus and select the appropriate version. Install using the command line, install Nessus package. Once installation, how do you do it through the command line? Let me see. So how do you install it via the command line? So install deb command line. How do I install it through the command line? We would type D, so D package. All right, so let's clear that. DPKG and then Nessus. What? Packages are installed manually. Packages are installed manually via the DPKG command. Is the back end to apt-get, which is in turn our backend for GUI install apps like Software Center. So how do I do it? Okay, so let's say -I and then Nessus. All right, there you go. Requested. All right, so we need to do sudo dpkg -I and then Nessus. So we need the ARM. Okay, so do they have the ARM? So our architecture is ARM. Let's see, do they have an ARM architecture? ARC 64. This is i386, ARC 64. I don't see an ARM version. Raspberry Pi ARM. I'll try this one. Let's try that version. So, I think we had a similar issue last time. DPKG-I Nessus. And we're going to go with 10.804. God, I need sudo again. Give me a second. Let's do sudo in front of it. All right, that worked. So Arch64 worked. And it says you can start a Nessus scanner by typing bin systemctl start Nessus service. So this is where it says here. Using the command line, once to complete, start the Nessus service by etc init-d/nessus d start. So it started. If you'd like Nessus to start when Kali boots, then do update-rc.d Nessus d enable. Update RC cannot find an LSB script. Update RC.d Nessus d. I don't know what that means, but whatever. Let's continue. Configure and use Nessus. So we can go to this URL right here. Oops. Copy link address. If we go in here, we paste that. That was unfortunate. So it got me all happy and stuff. Let's try with localhost then. Okay, let's see what's going on. Says unpacking. You can start Nessus by typing. So let's try this one then. Bin systemctl start Nessus d service. Password is okay. Let's go back. And we'll take out the HTTPS. So we need HTTPS, all right. So, and it's saying, all right, not safe. Oops, that's not what I do. Go forward, advance. I'm going to say accept the risks. And look at here, look at here, look at here. We got Nessus in the building. Let me make this bigger. There we go. So now it's upgrading databases. I'm going to have to sign up for, I need to get an activation code, I guess. Welcome. You can click settings to configure Nessus proxy, plugin, encryption, password settings before you start installation, or you can register online, register offline to configure an offline installation. When you're ready, click continue to proceed within. All right, so let's see. So I'm gonna go. Let me sign up for Nessus real quick to see what's happening here. Let's go over here. Let's see if there's any free. Open source vulnerability scanner. JFrog is free. Is there a free version? They said there was a free one. So Nessus Essentials. Let's go to this one. Can we get here? New users, please create a so let's do create a reset of password. We'll use techcoachralph@gmail.com. Feel free to email me. I'll try to respond. The way to best get a response from me is to send me a message in the Tech Coach Ralph Patreon. That's the best way to get a response from me. I try to respond in other venues, but it is not that easy. All right, let's go to check my email somewhere. Switch accounts. Hold on. Switch. There we go. Switch accounts. And wait a second. If you have a Tenable community, I don't have a Tenable community account. New users, please select or create, reset your password to complete. Oh my God. So I'm searching for nothing. All right. All right. The hell is that? Anyways. All right, let's try this again then. How do we get Nessus Essentials? Have the software downloaded. Maybe I don't give it for free anymore. All right. Okay, so let me sign up over here. All right. Let me do it over here. Let's see what happens here. So I'm getting a 1-year license. Okay, let's see. Already downloaded. So now that I have this, is to download Nessus, visit the Nessus download page. Already downloaded. Now to get this key, let me see. It was sent to my email. Perfect. So I'm going to take the key and we're going to go over to back to this screen. And we're going to say, choose how you want to deploy Nessus. Select a product to get you started. I guess we'll go with expert, or let me see. Industry leading vulnerability assessment solution for modern attack surface. This one is the de facto industry standard vulnerability assessment solution for security practitioners. The enterprise solution for managing Nessus agents at scale. Nessus agents? What? Did somebody say, as my guy Magnetar always says, did somebody say government? Did somebody say agent? Let's go with the professional, I guess. Nessus key. That's gonna show it. To get a license, let me see. I don't know if this key matters, but I'm not gonna show it. Let me just go over here. We're gonna go continue. Create a username. Password. Guess I can show this part. Password. I don't know. I don't know. Let me think. All right, let's go with that. Yeah, I could save that. And we do continue, I guess. Submit. Activation failed. What? Oh, because I said to get a license key, visit offline register. All right, let's do that. Open link a new tab. To generate a license for an older version, click here. This is throwing us for a loop, I guess. Paste. That's weird. Can I just go back and do the online version? Sheesh. So I don't have Nessus CLI. Okay. To generate a license for Nessus. On the server. Let's see here. Can we just go back and do it online instead? So let's try that again. Let's do continue. Let's do set up a, okay, so register for Nessus. All right, there we go. Register for Nessus Essentials. I already did register though. Back. Let's do set up a purchase instance. And let's do techcoachrough@gmail.com. And I guess. What? How this is my work email.
How dare you?
Let's see. Not going the way that I thought it would go, but this is why we do this, because we're following the course, and then we always end up with, oh, skip. Oh, I have an activation code. Where's my activation code? So if I type it, okay. So let me not share it just in case. Put that here. Continue. What? Why would you be showing the activation code? All right, now let's go back over here. Create an account. Let's go with this one. Submit. And we're in. Oh, you're on the wrong side. And we're in. We are in. Now it's going to be doing its thing over there. And while it's doing its thing, we will go to break. All right.
Lunch break! Lunch break!
Alrighty then. So let's go to break. I'm gonna check the chat, and then we are going to look at my shameful common sense results, and then we will talk about something. I don't know. We'll talk about something. So let's take a look at the chat. All right. So what do we got? What do we got in the chat? Let's see. Wave Nerd said things capable with lovable. It is absolutely crazy. Yes, crazy. Lovable is making moves. It has the moves. What was that quote? Oh my God, what was the Cheeseburger Eddie quote? Cheeseburger Eddie quotes makes yo mama shake. What was that quote? I got the shakes that'll make you quake. I got the fries that'll cross your eyes. I got the burgers that I just got burgers. Yeah, he was good in that movie. But Lovable got the shakes that'll make you quake. Junior says, can Lovable create an app store app also? Or can I just have an app on my phone for personal use that I created with Lovable? Let me see what a Wave Nerd said first, and then I'll give some insight on that. We got my guy Rod Brown in the building. What's up, Rod Brown? How are you doing tonight? And the shots were because Rod Brown is fighting for his YouTube life right now because he released a video today and now they are coming at him. I'm about to go jump in Rod Brown's comments and fight for my good friend Rod Brown. You will not take my friend alive. I'm telling you. I got his back. So if we have to go to war, I am with it. I ain't afraid. I ain't never ever scared. I got a battle worn heart.
I try to live what they let go, away to dreams they'll never know, but it drowns.
Yeah, I don't know. Rod Brown, I got your back. I am coming with reinforcements. Look, all right, I got you, all right? Wavener had said, Lovable is more for web apps, correct? You can create a web app that contains other web apps and you can charge for access, correct? So now the answer for basically no. You can make it a mobile responsive app, but you can't. It's not going to be an OS specific app like iOS or Android. What I did do, I did it on a live stream. Wait, did I do it on a live stream? I think I did. I don't remember. I think I did, but I used a tool called. Look, I'll say it like this: for you to be new to this tech stuff, you're asking for a lot. I know there's Flutterflow that creates UIs and stuff like that. So you can probably go to Flutterflow, create a UI, but then you'd probably have to go and find a way to get into Devin through GitHub and say, all right, Devin, I want this to happen with that. And it's going to be a lot. It is going to be a huge, huge learning curve, right? So yeah, the immediate answer is no. You cannot create a Android app or an iOS app with Lovable. There are ways to do it, but it's going to be a huge learning curve to get started off with, right? Magnus says, government? Did somebody say government? Shout out to my guy, Magnetar. William says, business-wise, if you can build a web app and not be in the App Store paying Apple 30%, yes, of everything you make from app and paying high cloud fees, that's a good point. That is a good point. Like I was saying, make the app responsive and you can avoid a lot of headache that way. Let's see. Magnus says moves like Mick Jagger. Did he say that in the movie? I don't remember. I saw that movie so long ago. Let me see what else we got. But I did remember the shakes that'll make you quake. I got the fries that'll cross your eyes. I'm just saying, all right. Let's see. Magnetar says, "Wow, you too? They coming at him. They coming at my guy, Rod. I got you, Rod Brown." Says, "I stepped into a war zone. All I want is peace." Rod Brown, all I'm gonna say, you're the one who said, "You guys aren't being nice. You guys aren't being loving. You guys are being big fat." He didn't say use the word fat, but he said you guys are being meanies. And then they were like, I'll show you what a meanie is, my dear friend.
How dare you?
And now they got Rod Brown like,
I hate it here. I want to go home.
Magnus says, "I know a pastor who just got demonetized." What did he say? Because whenever people say they get demonetized, I want to know what they said. I just want to know what they said, all right? But Rod Brown will not be demonetized. I will make sure that he is not demonetized because we do not fumble our tokens here. We do not fumble the bag. We do not fumble anything. All right? Let me see. It's so loud. Let me see. Give me a second here. Not too good. It's not too good. Oh, let me close some stuff off because I don't want this thing to go crazy again like it did last week. Close that one out, or on Tuesday. Let me see. All right. Let me see what else. And make sure, is it YouTube or just random people making comments? Why? It is random people making what? I mean, they're not random people, but they are making wild comments. I haven't even read them yet, but yeah. Rod Brown trying to get me in trouble. I'm with it. The Hebrew Israelites are coming after my guy Rod Brown. We're reinforcements are on the way, Rod Brown. See, that's why you need to go live. That's why you need to go live, Rod Brown, because bring them up. Jay-Z said bring them out. I say bring them up. Junior says peace. No peace. Max says he'll tell me in the Discord. Okay, sounds good. All right. Let's go and review the results of the Common Sense IQ quiz test, whatever. The one that I failed miserably, unfortunately. All right, so take a look. All right. So I scored a whopping 75 points. Says average common sense thinker, good performance on visual questions. According to MIT Open Mind and Stanford research, you showed solid practical reasoning skills. You effectively connect events and understand casual relationships with room to develop in certain aspects of situational analysis and predictive reasoning. Your results align with key findings from McCarthy's knowledge representation framework and MIT studies on mental model construction. These research programs have identified that effective knowledge management involves creating reliable mental schemes that organize facts about the world into usable structures. Your performance indicates a functional knowledge organization system that allows you to navigate everyday scenarios with reasonable effectiveness. Stanford's research on common sense reasoning suggests that your level of performance reflects an ability to maintain coherent knowledge networks that support prediction and explanation, though with some limitations in handling highly complex or novel situations. McCarthy's work emphasizes that this level of common sense ability serves well in familiar contexts, while sometimes requiring additional effort when encountering unexpected variations or exceptions.
Bruh. Ain't believing us.
I am a bit disappointed that my common sense level was not exceptional. I mean, I think it's exceptional. I do dislike variations and exceptions. I am a programmer. I like things to work straightforward. I do have a bit of OCD mixed with a bit of ADHD with a side of who knows what, you know, but it's all good. All right. Scoring details. What are the scoring details? So correct answers. I got 50 points for correct answers. I got 25 points for half. What was the half correct answer? What was the half correct answer? That's what I want to know. All right. Correct. So the skipped questions, 0 points. Time efficiency bonus +3. Shout out to my time efficiency. Adaptive learning. Why did I not get an adaptive learning bonus? Consistency streak. Okay, what is? I want to know, why did I not get any skipped questions? Well, I mean, I skipped one question, but consistency streak bonus. Okay. I think my time efficiency bonus would have been more if I would just stop talking and giving my feedback through each question, but it is what it is. I'm a yapper, all right? Skip penalty guide. 1 to 3 skip questions, no penalties. Your thinking style. Visual thinker. You perform better with visual cues and information presented as images. I think so. I would agree. I am not much of a. I don't go to conferences much because number one, I don't like being around a lot of people, and number two, I don't like to be lectured to. I'm more of a hands-on type person, so that's why when you see me learning, I say, all right, how can we do this? How can we get our hands onto this? So that's how I am. Scoring guide. 170 to 200 genius level street smarts. See, I was hoping to get around the 140, but I got 75. 75? Jesus Christ. I'm a total failure. I have to rethink my life now. How did I survive in South Florida for all these years? For 40 years, how did I survive down here? Crazy. So exceptional common sense, intelligence, and decision making, 170 to 200. 140 to 169. High. I mean, you know what? Now that I think back about over the past year, I probably did make some very bad decisions in my life. Very poor common sense decision making skills. 140 to 169. High level common sense, above average ability to make practical decisions. 100 to 139. Average common sense, typical judgment and reasoning abilities. 70 to 99. Room for improvement in everyday decision making.
Bruh.
You know what? Whatever platform that you're watching on, if you go and you take the common sense IQ right now, and if you get a genius level street smarts between 170 to 200, I will give away a t-shirt. Yes. I'll give away a t-shirt. You can email me, and you have to send me your I have to make sure that we can see it on the back end as well to see. Let me submit my score. Oh wait. I got a 107? Look at that. I thought I had a 75. I got a 107. So I'm pretty smart after all. Look at that. I have decent, not the best, but I thought I had a 70. I thought I had a 75. Look at, shout out to me. That's how they get you though, because they'll tell you got a 75, you think you're a failure, you got to rethink your life, and they say, gotcha, you got a 107. My IQ score is 107. Let's get it. You scored 75. Oh, okay, so you scored 75 points, but my common sense IQ score is 107. Okay, I see what you did there. I see what you did there, common sense IQ. I'm with it. So submit your score, 107. Let me see. I'm gonna go with Tech Cotrauf. And university or state is going to be Florida. submit my score, and let me save my certificate. Make sure I get my certificate saved. And I will let me put that in documents, save. And we're going to submit my score. Score submitted. Rate my experience. That was lit, son. That was lit. I'm going to share this on X as well. And how do I share this on X? Continue to X. And you guys can't see the screen, but I'm going to post it to X. Boom. It's on X. Highlight them apples. I like it. Oh, download the image. You download the image. Download the image. So, email me your certificate. You got till midnight Eastern time, right? Midnight Eastern time. So, do the math. Midnight Eastern time. Send me your score. Send me your certificate. Download the image of your score. And if you got 170 or above, I will send you something. I'll let you pick the shirt that you want, all right? And I'll send it out to you. But you gotta get between 170. Your competence IQ has to be between 170 to 200. That's how you win. All right. That's how you win. Between 170 to 200. That's how you win. All right. But that's it. That's it. We got 30. All right. We got 13 minutes left. I'm not gonna do another segment. So what we can do, let me check if the re-up man came. I'm gonna check if the re-up man came. The re-up man, oh my God, the re-up man just hit us up. He just hit us up with our 5 credits for the day. Tokens Anonymous. Hello, my name is Echo Drouth, and I have a problem. I am a token fiend. You know, I'm just saying. I got hit up with my tokens. Let me see. All right, I'm gonna work on that later. Remember though, the store has some new merch in there, right? We have our token fiend. You didn't see this one, Wave Nerd. The token fiend, where I have it on a hat, have it on a hoodie, have it on another type of hat, have it on women's workout clothes, a coffee mug. I'm giving you one of these coffee mugs. Hoodies, hats, women's clothing, Letterman jackets. I gotta get me one of these Letterman jackets for Christmas, for the winter time. Did I spell fiend wrong? No, you're spelling. All right. Yeah, you got me scared for a second there. Oh, you see what you almost have a heart attack. And I'm like, did I spell fiend wrong? All right, no, it's fiend, F-I-E-N-D. Oh, you scared me for a second there, Wave Nerd. I was like, did I make a typo? all this merch has a typo. Okay. But yeah, so and then we have these as well for Token Fiend. Yeah. Isn't this a nice one? That is a really nice one. That is a really, really nice one. Different colors. I like it. I like that one. That's a nice color. Really cool. 25% off for today. So anything that you see here, lots of different styles. Princess Petty over here. Prince Petty. That's a nice one. For the ladies. For the ladies. And the babies. We've got a baby girl, Princess Petty, you know. Tank tops. Mugs. Baseball jerseys. All types of cool stuff. Yeah. So let me see. We can wrap up the show with this. Let's wrap it up with this. I have a topic. I have a topic to talk about. Let's talk about, where do I have this one up? let's talk about this one, right? Let's talk about this topic real quick. Oh, let me gotta send a message real quick. Let's see. Oops. All right, let's talk about this. I'm gonna put 5 minutes on the clock for this topic. Break that too. 450 interviews and no one hired. Let's drop that. All right, so tech company fails to hire after 450 interviews, says candidates are copying and pasting from AI. The firm claimed a lot of candidates are copying and pasting code without AI from AI without understanding a single line of it. That is so look, you can't vibe code your way into a company, all right? You're gonna have to know some code if you're trying to. Let's put it like this: Wave Nerd does not have a programming background, so he can go down a token death spiral. And I'll actually show you something that I did today to fix an issue, right? But let's read this. A tech company recently took to Reddit to express disappointment after failing to hire a single candidate for a junior developer role. In its post, the anonymous firm revealed that around 12,000 people applied, 450 were interviewed. Jesus Christ, 12,000 people applied, 450 interviewed. However, it ultimately did not hire anyone, citing concerns that a large number of applicants relied heavily on artificial intelligence AI tools for coding without truly understanding the underlying logic. Let me zoom in. We recently posted a job opening on LinkedIn for junior front-end, back-end devs and QA roles, offering a salary range of up to Rs 20L. That's like Indian currency, right? India currency. Over 12,000 people applied. We filtered out more than 10,000 candidates due to insufficient skill set or resumes that didn't align with the role. Not because we want to be harsh, but because we don't want to waste candidates' time as well as ours by putting them through interview rounds only to reject them later. The company wrote, look, interviewing is super, super expensive. Shout out to Avocado. Although I think Guac AI would have been a much better name for Chipotle's hiring system. I used AI to help hiring go a lot faster. It says, all right, so we even allowed candidates to use GPT to solve problems. However, when we ask about time or space complexity or an explanation of the code they just wrote, many are unable to respond. Took more than 450 interviews for a single vacancy. No one got selected. That's crazy. Further, the firm claimed that a lot of candidates are copying and pasting code from AI without understanding a single line of it. This makes it extremely difficult. These days to find a developer who truly understands what they've written. We're starting to question whether we're making mistakes in our hiring process or if it's just high time for junior developers to realize the importance of actually understanding the code before pasting it from GPT.
Message.
The post has triggered a discussion online with several users suggesting that it evaluates its interview process. How about you evaluate your knowledge? How about that? You seriously need to evaluate your interview process and the time wasted on interviews. Well, that's fair because you did waste a lot of time. Either your recruiting team is bringing you bad developers or your process is having issues. Either way, wasting 450 hours to find one engineer is stupid, to say the least. I agree with that. However, here's the problem. Recruiters do not evaluate the quality of somebody's code. They can go based off the resume. They can go based off conversation, but they won't really be able to evaluate the recruiter's code. That's why they will send it to me, for instance, and I'll evaluate the technical project, and I'll either say yes, they can proceed to a technical interview, or no, this did not meet our criteria. So that way I might spend like 10 to 15 minutes. But that's also part of the interview, right? That's part of the interview process. Evaluate your interview process, highly inefficient. Don't blame the candidate. There are serious expectations mismatch. No, you can definitely blame the candidate. All right. Responding to this, the company stated the entire point is people are going to use AI anyway. So this just proves that everywhere and anywhere people will always run in the victim Olympics, right? Because they're saying people are copying and pasting code without knowing what it means, and they're saying, "Oh, it's your fault because you're like the mismatch." No, like we want people who know how to code. You don't have to do all the code yourself, but we still want you to know how to code. And they're like, "But that's not fair. That's not fair."
How dare you?
All right, so
Get a move on. Back to work. Chop, chop. Let's go. Come on. Get a move on. Back to work. Back to work. Back to work.
The entire point is people are going to use AI anyways in their jobs as well as everyone does. So there is no point of saying to them that that do not use AI to write code in the interview as well. The candidates should understand the solution and logic behind each and every line. That is our concern. That's our only concern. I agree. I agree with you. Some users also agreed with the original poster. Truly agree. Candidates nowadays are missing the core fundamentals. See, here's the difference. The people who agree are people who are actually working in the field, and the people who are disagreeing and saying, "Oh, you need to evaluate your interview process," are the ones who cannot get hired. Probably some of them who applied for the job. Your HR team can try to implement a resume shortlister and tech assignment before round before face to face. I agree with that. Looking at comments, I somehow feel people are not ready to accept that candidates are not good and just relying on AI without understanding the basics. Everybody is blaming either hiring process or budget issues. Commented another. But that's it. All right, that's it. So let's go back to full screen. Let me show you how before we wrap it up, let me show you how I was able to fix an issue with the coding, right? So we were going down a death spiral. Like it was not able to fix it. I would say try, no, try, no, try, no, try, no. And I said that I'm not showing my screen. Let me get this off the screen. Let's go with this, right? So I ended up saying, I'm still, so this is how I prompted it, right? I said, I'm still getting the callback error, and I was getting it over and over. It failed to fix. It could not get it. And sometimes it just happens. It goes down this death spiral where it cannot figure out how to fix the issue. And then being a experienced someone in tech, right? So as a Q engineer, software engineer, whatever, I was able to say, let me go back to where I was. I said, I'm still getting the callback error when going to an individual group page, and we're still getting the use callback reference error. Can we just rework the group discussion page? So just start over from scratch to get it to load, because however you're trying to fix it isn't working, right? So that's what I told it. And so instead of trying to fix what you think it is, just do it over. And that cost me a credit, but I'd rather pay that credit and get it to work instead of just like going through this endless loop of it not working, right? So it said, looking at the error and the code, I can see that there's still use callback references on line 153 and 157 in the group discussion component that weren't removed. Let me completely rework the group discussion component to eliminate all use callback usage and make it work properly. So it did that, because what was happening was the page was not even loading at all anymore. So I completely rewritten the group discussion component and eliminate the use callback usage. The main changes: removed all use callback imports and usage, converted all callback functions to use regular async functions, simplified the event handlers to use direct state setters, kept all existing functionality intact, right? And that ended up getting the page to load and to work, fixing our endless death spiral doom loop, all right? So as you get better with prompting, then and getting better with prompting and understanding how that you're working with a junior developer, a junior engineer, which is really, really fast, really, really smart, but sometimes they just try to do the same thing over and over and over and over again, and they can't figure it out, right? So that is what we ended up doing here. So then it fixed it, it got it to work, and that was all right. Now how can we do other stuff, right? And I said, okay, how can you share lesson plans? We got that working. If you look at groups and we go to, what is that group I was working on? I think it was maybe this group. Go to lesson plans. We got a shared lesson plan in here. Boom. Look at that. Shared lesson plans. So that's pretty cool. Pretty cool stuff. Has a date that it's for. And I haven't tried to. Actually, I did do this. Copy to my plans. A bunch of stuff, figuring it out, and then as I get the homeschool moms to start beta testing it and getting ideas how they want it to work, we will continue working on this to make sure we use up all of our tokens. Maybe I will just flame my token addiction with you guys as we start the shows to make, especially the evening shows, to make sure that we get all of our tokens out of the way. And, maybe on Sunday we use our 5 tokens because Sunday nights are normally busy anyway. So maybe that's how we do it. I don't know, but that's it. And whenever there's going to be another lovable 48 hours promotion, we're going to do a marathon of, maybe we'll do like 5 to 6 hours using up our programming, and we'll do it both days and try to run up our tokens, build a full application in a short amount of time. I don't know what the future holds. We shall see. But that's it. Let's go to full screen and I'll check the chat and then I'll get us up and out of here. Let's see. Wave Nerd said token fiend. Almost had me have a heart attack with that one. I was like, did I spell it wrong? Wave Nerd says, I'm a terrible speller. Thanks for letting me know after the fact, Wave Nerd. Appreciate it. Wave Nerd says fire on the designs. I can't wait for my order to come in. I cannot wait for my order to come in. Junior says, I guess you can apply for that job. I could, but they can't afford me. They cannot afford me just for fun. It's in India as well. Junior says, how can the homeschool moms test it out? So I got to get it to a point where it is usable enough. And so I have to get my wife to try it out first and let me know what makes sense, what doesn't make sense, what's easy, what's not easy, and how does she. So I was training her today how to communicate. So basically, she's basically a stakeholder, right? What a stakeholder is the person who has the interest in the functionality. So when I was showing it to her, she was like, can it do this? Can it do that? And I'm like, basically the answer to any of those questions is always going to be yes. It can do it. So I need you to communicate to me in a different way. I need you to tell me, I needed to do X, Y, and Z. I wanted to do X, Y, and Z. And then I'm going to say, okay, let me figure out how to get it to do it. So a lot of times when something is presented, you were thinking about it the wrong way of, can it do this? I have no idea about homeschooling, about stay-at-home moms. So you tell me what is the way that you want it to work, and then I can implement it that way. So that's the first beta tester, Junior, and then I'll start to expand it. Once I get it to a particular spot, then I'll expand it so we can get some more beta testers to let me know how it goes, and we'll figure it out from there, right? So that's the long answer to the short question. And since I totally agree with that marathon. Boy, we are gonna go at it. So once I get the another drop that there's gonna be 48 hours, we're gonna be like, let's get to it. We're gonna be building up. We're gonna build a whole entire app in a weekend. All right, we're gonna do it. But that's it. That is it for tonight. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I had a lot of fun. As long as I get my token hit in there, I'm good to go. We're good. I'm gonna drop my email in the chat. All right. Whoever gets 120 or whoever gets 170 to 200 on the Common Sense IQ. So let's do it like this, right? I'm gonna do it like this. We'll do it like this. If you score 170 to 200 Common Sense IQ score, send it to me. Send me the cert at techcoachrob@gmail.com, and I will send you some merch. The first person to send it to me it's not everybody. The first person to send it to me is going to get the merch. All right. So common sense IQ. There it goes. Boom. There we go. All right. But that's it. That's it. Junior says, great show as always. Thank you, Junior. I really appreciate you being here. And later, y'all. Later to you. Later to everyone. Tech Coach Ralph. We are out of here. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful night. Take care. Take care. Take care.
I try to live what they let go, away to dreams they'll never know. But a drowning soul can't save the tide, and now I see I must step aside.
I fought till my hands turned to stone, carrying battles that weren't my own. They swore they'd stand but turned away, left me to bleed in the fray.
I held the line as long as I could, fought for the spark they misunderstood. They whispered dreams they'd never choose, said they were in but lived to lose. I can't fight for you no more, knocking on a locked up door. You said you were in but faded out, your silence echoes a deafening shout.
I wanted to see your colors fly, but you clipped your wings and let them die. You crave the fall, not the fight to win, a war within that you let begin.
I can't fight for you no more, knocking on a locked up door. You said you were in but faded out, your silence echoes a deafening shout. I saw the fire dim in their eyes, promises buried under their lies. They wore the crown of fleeting belief, but ran from the throne when it brought grief. Oh,
I tried to carry your weight on my back, but your shadow was a heavy attack. You disappeared when the fire burned high, left me screaming at an empty sky.
I wanted the victory more than they, but you can't chase stars for those who stray. So I lay down the sword and walk away. The battle's lost, they chose decay. I can't fight for you no more, knocking on a locked up door. You said you were in but faded out, your silence echoes a deafening shout. Oh, they vanished like shadows in the light, fading away when it's time to fight. I reach my hand, they let it fall. I can't catch ghosts, I've given it all.
Oh, they vanish like shadows in the light, fading away when it's time to fight. I reached my hand, they let it fall. I can't catch ghosts, I've given it all.